Ladies and gentlemen, what you believe about yourself shapes everything. Your actions, your habits, your relationships, your destiny. If deep down you believe you're not good enough, not smart enough, not worthy, then life will mirror that belief in everything you do. But if you begin to believe, truly believe, that you were created with purpose, with power, and with potential, then everything begins to shift. The most powerful force in your life is not your circumstances, not your past, not even the opinions of others. It is what you believe. You are becoming day by day, thought by thought, exactly what you hold in your heart. So I ask you, what do you believe about yourself right now? Because that belief is not just a reflection of your thoughts. It is the prophecy of your future. You are not what others say you are. You are what you believe you are. That simple truth holds more power than 1,000 opinions. From the moment we are born, the world starts labeling us, defining us, trying to put us in boxes. Some say we're too small, too weak, too slow, too broken, too far gone. But those labels do not define you. They are not your identity. You are not the sum total of your past mistakes, your failures, or what someone else couldn't see in you. You are what you believe you are, and when you begin to believe in yourself, not with arrogance, but with humble faith, you awaken something extraordinary within you. Faith is the foundation of true identity. It's not a blind hope or wishful thinking. Faith is the quiet, unshakable conviction that you were made for more. It is the belief that you are not here by accident, that God placed you here with purpose, with strength, and with untapped potential. Faith is the seed of greatness, and just like any seed, it must be planted, nurtured, and protected. When you begin to speak life over yourself, when you say, I can do this, I have what it takes, I am strong, I am capable, I am valuable, you water that seed. And day by day, belief begins to grow. The truth is, nobody can believe for you. People can encourage you, pray for you, even cheer you on. But until you believe, your potential remains locked. It is faith that unlocks your true self. Without it, life feels like you're always chasing something just out of reach. But when you believe, when you truly accept that you are more than what the world sees, you begin to walk differently, talk differently, live differently. Faith isn't about ignoring reality. It's about facing it with confidence, knowing that there's more in you than you see right now. You may feel like you're struggling, like you're not where you should be, but that doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're growing. Even a tree, strong and tall, once started in the darkness of the soil. It couldn't see the sun, but it grew anyway. Why? Because it believed in the light. The same is true for you. Don't let fear or doubt be your identity. Don't let what someone said about you years ago control who you are becoming today. The words others speak can hurt, but they only have power if you choose to believe them. Choose instead to believe the truth. You were fearfully and wonderfully made. There is something inside you that no failure can destroy, no setback can erase, and no critic can take away. Faith in yourself, rooted in faith in God, is a force that can move mountains. It's not about being perfect, it's about being willing to try, to fall, to rise, and to try again. Every step you take in faith builds your identity. Every moment you say, I will not give up, you strengthen the foundation of who you are. So today, decide what you believe, not based on your bank account, your resume, or your past, but based on the truth that you are more than you think you are. You are becoming what you believe. Let that belief be bold. Let it be full of faith. Let it be the beginning of your transformation. What you consistently hold in your mind begins to shape your reality. The images you allow to take root in your imagination are not just idle thoughts. They are powerful blueprints of what your future can become. Your mind is like a camera, always capturing pictures of what you expect, what you believe, and what you dwell on. And the remarkable thing is this: your life begins to move in the direction of those pictures. If you constantly picture failure, you start to act in ways that lead to failure. But if you picture victory, if you see yourself overcoming, rising, becoming all that God created you to be, then you begin to attract those very outcomes into your life. Your thoughts are not just passive reflections, they are creative forces. Every belief you hold is like a builder working behind the scenes to construct the life you're living. That's why it's so important to feed your mind with the right images. Don't let your imagination become a playground for fear and worry. Don't let it be filled with defeat, rejection, or inadequacy. Instead, fill it with images of growth, strength, success, and fulfillment. Visualize yourself walking confidently through life, achieving your goals, overcoming obstacles, making a difference, becoming a person of faith, integrity, and joy. When you develop a positive mental picture that is rooted in your faith, you begin to unlock courage you never knew you had. The human spirit rises when it sees where it's going. When you hold a vision of a better life, a stronger version of yourself, you gain motivation to keep moving forward. Even when things don't look right around you, even when there are setbacks and delays, your vision reminds you of where you're headed. That vision is your compass, and when your vision is aligned with God's purpose for your life, it becomes unstoppable. Don't underestimate the power of what you picture. So many people are living defeated lives not because they don't have talent or opportunity, but because they keep seeing themselves through the lens of their failures. They wake up each day expecting more of the same, but you can change the picture. You can choose to see yourself differently, not as someone limited by your past, but as someone destined for more. You were created in the image of a limitless God. When you center your self-image on that truth, something begins to shift inside you. A God-centered self-image leads to true confidence, not arrogance, but the quiet assurance that you are enough because He is enough. You're not walking alone. You're not building your future on your own strength. God is with you, guiding you, empowering you. That's why you can look ahead with courage. That's why you can hold your head high even when life tries to push you down. Because you know who you are and whose you are. So start today by painting a new picture in your mind. Close your eyes and see yourself walking boldly into your calling. See yourself healed. See yourself free. See yourself successful, fulfilled, making a difference. Let that image sink deep into your heart. Speak it, write it, meditate on it, and keep showing up every day as the person you believe you are becoming. You are the artist of your future, and belief is your brush. Use it to paint something beautiful. Keep your mind fixed on what's possible, not what's missing. Keep your vision rooted in God's promises, not your present limitation. Because what you consistently visualize, you begin to magnetize. And when that picture is clear, when it's filled with faith, your life will begin to reflect it in powerful and undeniable ways. Negative beliefs are some of the most destructive forces in a person's life. They don't shout, they whisper, quietly, subtly, and over time, they tighten their grip until you start living in a prison that exists entirely in your own mind. Doubt, fear, and self criticism are not truths. They are lies dressed as caution. They come from past disappointments, from voices that didn't see your worth, and from a world that measures value in the wrong ways. But just because those thoughts visit your mind doesn't mean you have to welcome them. Just because you failed before doesn't mean you are a failure now. The problem is not in your potential. It's in what you believe about your potential. You must understand that what holds people back is not usually the lack of talent or opportunity. It's the belief that they are not good enough to try. It's the silent agreement they make with their fears. It's the voice that says, "Who do you think you are?" And the choice to listen to that voice instead of challenging it. When you believe you are limited, you begin to live a limited life. When you tell yourself you're not capable, you stop reaching. And when you expect the worst, you subconsciously start preparing for it rather than working for something better. Negative beliefs don't always sound extreme. Sometimes they come in quiet forms. "I'm just not that smart. Things like that never work out for me. People like me don't succeed. It's too late. I'll never change." These thoughts seem harmless, but they are deeply harmful. They become habits, mental habits that tear down instead of build up. They become your internal soundtrack, playing over and over, until one day you stop questioning them and start accepting them as fact. But the truth is this: you were not created to live small. You were not designed to be bound by fear, regret, or insecurity. The ceiling on your life is not determined by your circumstances, your past, or your current surroundings. It is determined by what you believe. If you believe you are stuck, then you will stay stuck. But if you believe you can rise, if you dare to believe that you are more than what you feel in this moment, then you begin to lift that ceiling. One belief at a time. It starts by challenging those negative thoughts when they arise. Speak back to them. Replace them with truth. Say, "I may not be there yet, but I'm growing." Say, "I am capable of learning, of healing, of becoming stronger." Say, "I have value, not because of what I've done, but because of who I am." The mind, when trained with faith, becomes a place of power instead of prison. When you stop feeding negative beliefs, you begin to starve them. And as they weaken, your confidence strengthens. The fear may still be there, but it no longer controls you. The doubt may still whisper, but it no longer directs you. You begin to act in faith, speak with purpose, and live with expectation. You stop shrinking to fit other people's opinions and start standing tall in your God-given identity. You were never meant to live beneath your potential. You were meant to soar, but you will never rise higher than the ceiling you place in your own mind. So raise the ceiling, break it, and believe that you can go further, do more, and be more than those negative beliefs ever allowed you to imagine. Faith is stronger than fear. Hope is louder than doubt. And the moment you choose to believe differently, everything begins to change. Faith has a remarkable power to transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. It is not just a feeling or a hope. It is a force. When you truly believe in something, especially when you believe in yourself and in the purpose God has placed within you, your effort becomes energized. Things that once seemed difficult become possible. Things that once seemed distant start drawing near. Faith is the fuel that turns a regular life into a remarkable journey. It is not reserved for a chosen few. It's available to anyone willing to believe beyond what they can see. So often in life, we measure what we can do by what we've done. We look at our skills, our experience, our background, and we draw a circle around what we think is possible. But faith draws a bigger circle. Faith steps in and says, there is more in you than you've seen. There is more ahead of you than behind you. There is more to become than you've dared to believe. You see, belief changes the way you act. When you believe something is possible, you try harder, you dream bigger, you take bolder steps, you persist longer, and that effort, energized by faith, produces results that mere logic and ability alone could never reach. There are people in the world today doing what once seemed impossible, not because they were the most gifted, but because they were the most faithful. They believed when others doubted. They kept walking when others gave up. They saw the invisible, trusted the process, and kept moving forward with a heart full of expectation. That's the miracle of faith. It makes you resilient. It gives you the courage to keep showing up, even when the results haven't shown up yet. It turns obstacles into stepping stones. It transforms pain into purpose. Faith gives your struggle meaning, and with that meaning, you gain strength. The Bible says that with God, all things are possible. Not some things, not just the easy things, all things, and that promise isn't just for saints and prophets, it's for you. Right where you are, with the life you have, with the dreams in your heart. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need all the answers. What you need is belief, faith that God is for you, faith that He didn't place those desires in your heart just to tease you, faith that He is working behind the scenes in ways you cannot yet see. Because when your faith connects with God's power, the limits start to fall away. You may feel ordinary. You may look around and see an average life, an average job, an average situation. But God delights in taking what the world calls ordinary and doing something extraordinary with it. He used a shepherd boy to defeat a giant. He used fishermen to spread a message that changed the world. And He can use you. What makes the difference is not the size of your talent. It's the size of your belief. When you say, I may be small, but my God is big, you start stepping into a whole new dimension of life. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be willing to trust, willing to believe, willing to act even when you're afraid, willing to keep going even when it's hard, because when faith fuels your journey, no step is wasted, no effort is meaningless, and no dream is too far gone. What you once thought was out of reach becomes a reality, not because you forced it, but because you believed your way into it. Faith transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary, and with God's help, there are no limits to what you can become. Belief alone is not enough. You can have all the faith in the world, but if you never move, never take action, that belief remains just an idea. Faith is powerful, but faith without action is empty. It's like a seed that's never planted. It holds the potential for life, but it never grows. What brings belief to life is movement. What turns faith into reality is action. You have to take the step. You have to begin walking in the direction of your dreams, even when you don't know exactly where the path will lead. There are so many people who believe deep down that they're meant for more. They believe they have gifts, talents, and a calling on their life, but they're waiting for the perfect moment, waiting until they feel ready. Waiting until all the fear disappears. But the truth is, there will never be a perfect time. The fear may never fully leave. Readiness doesn't come before action. It comes through action. Every small step forward increases your confidence. Every time you push past hesitation, even just a little, you strengthen your belief. Action validates belief. It gives your faith muscle. It proves to your own mind that you mean what you say. When you take steps toward your dream, however small, You are saying to yourself and to the world, I believe this is possible. That energy is powerful. The universe responds to movement. Doors begin to open that stayed closed when you stood still. People begin to notice the fire in your heart. Opportunities find those who are already in motion, not those who sit on the sidelines wishing for change. You may not feel ready. You may think you need more time, more knowledge, more confidence. But what you need most is the willingness to start. Start with what you have where you are. Don't wait to be fearless to take the first step. Take the step afraid. Take it unsure. Take it with shaky hands and a hopeful heart. Because the more you move, the more you grow. The more you act in faith, the more your belief becomes part of who you are. Action doesn't have to be dramatic. You don't need to leap. Just lean. Lean in the direction of your goal. Take one bold step today. Make the call. Start the project. Write the idea down. Open the door. Just do something that affirms the belief inside you. Because when you act, you begin to shift from wishing to becoming. You go from thinking about the dream to actually building it. Each step matters. Each action is a vote for the future you believe in. With every decision, you're carving out a new path. You're leaving behind fear and moving into faith. And faith, when put into motion, becomes momentum. It lifts you, carries you, and keeps you moving even when the journey gets hard. Yes, you will stumble. You will make mistakes. That's part of the process. But even a flawed step forward is better than perfect inaction. Because every time you rise after falling, every time you choose to keep going, your belief gets deeper, your purpose gets clearer, and your courage grows stronger. You weren't meant to just dream. You were meant to do. You were meant to rise up, take hold of your vision, and walk it out step by step. Belief gives you vision, but action gives you results. So don't just believe you were made for more. Live like it. Move like it. Speak like it. Work like it. Let every part of your life reflect the truth that you are walking boldly in the direction of the life you believe in. Because the moment you start moving with faith, your belief becomes unstoppable. What you speak about yourself has the power to shape your reality. Words are not just sounds, they are seeds. Every time you speak, you plant something in your mind, in your spirit, and in your future. If you keep speaking defeat, you will begin to feel defeated. If you constantly speak about lack, struggle, fear, or failure, your mind will align with those words and begin creating a life that reflects them. But if you choose to speak life, to speak faith, to speak hope even when things are difficult, your words will begin to push your life in a new direction. So many people go through life tearing themselves down with their own voice. They say things like, I can't do this. I'm not good enough. Things never work out for me. And I always mess up. These statements may feel harmless in the moment, but they are far from it. They become affirmations of defeat. They become self-fulfilling prophecies. The more you say them, the more you believe them, and the more you start to live them out. That's why it's so important to guard your tongue. What you speak consistently, you will begin to experience. God created the universe with His word. He said, "Let there be light," and there was light. If God's words had the power to create, and you are made in His image, then your words also carry creative power. You may not be able to create planets, but you can shape attitudes, you can build dreams, you can call forth strength you didn't know you had simply by choosing the right words. Start speaking words that lift you higher. Say, I am capable, I am chosen, I am equipped for this, I have the wisdom I need. I may not see the way yet, but I trust God will guide me. These are not just positive statements. They are declarations of truth. They shift your mindset from fear to faith. They help you rise above the noise of doubt and discouragement. Your words are the steering wheel of your life. If you keep speaking faith, eventually your life begins to follow that direction. Even when you don't feel strong, speak strength. Even when you don't see progress, speak hope. Your words can either push you forward or hold you back. The choice is yours. When challenges come, don't give in to complaining or self-pity. Instead, speak victory. Say, this may be tough, but I've overcome before, and I'll do it again. Say, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm getting stronger. Declare that you are blessed, that you are rising, that greater things are ahead. This doesn't mean you deny reality. It means you choose to speak the higher truth. You acknowledge the difficulty, but you don't let it define you. You speak from your faith, not your fear, and the more you speak this way, the stronger your faith becomes. Your words feed your belief, and your belief shapes your world. The enemy wants you to speak words of defeat because he knows that your words hold power. But when you flip the script, when you start using your voice to build rather than break, to declare victory rather than defeat, you take back that power. You align yourself with God's promises. You agree with what heaven says about you instead of what fear says about you. So speak wisely, speak boldly, speak with confidence in who God says you are. Let your mouth become a fountain of life, not just for others, but for yourself. Let your words echo faith, courage, and victory. Because when you speak like a conqueror, you begin to live like one. You were created with intention. You are not an accident. You are not here by chance or by mistake. Before you were ever born, before anyone knew your name, God knew you. He formed you. He saw your future. He breathed purpose into your life. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. That means you were made with awe, with reverence, with care. Every detail about you, your personality, your gifts, your story, was designed by the Creator of the universe. That alone should tell you something important. You matter, you are valuable, and you are enough. So many people walk through life questioning their worth. They compare themselves to others, measure their success against someone else's timeline, and believe the lie that they are not as capable, not as gifted, not as worthy. But the truth is, if God, the all-knowing, all-powerful Creator, believes in you, who are you to doubt yourself? If He thought the world needed one of you, who are you to say otherwise? You were not made to blend in. You were made to shine in your own unique way. There is no one else with your exact fingerprint, your exact voice, your exact calling. And that means your life has meaning that no one else can fulfill. When you truly begin to believe in yourself, not from a place of ego, but from a place of faith, everything begins to change. You stop shrinking back. You stop settling. You stop living according to fear and begin living according to truth. God's truth says you are chosen, you are equipped, you are strong enough, wise enough, brave enough, because you are not walking through life alone. God is with you, and when you partner with Him, there is no limit to what you can become. Believing in yourself is not about pretending you have it all together. It's not about being perfect. It's about trusting that the one who made you did not make a mistake. It's about knowing that you don't have to have all the answers. You just need to say yes to the journey. Every step you take in faith, Every time you choose to rise instead of quit, you are honoring the divine design God placed inside you. This belief will be tested. Life will try to shake it. People will misunderstand it. You will have moments when you feel unworthy or uncertain, but those feelings are not facts. They are passing emotions, not permanent realities. When those moments come, you remind yourself, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am chosen by God. I am not defined by my failures or my flaws. I am defined by who created me. You lift your head high, not in pride, but in confidence rooted in truth. God has already placed inside you everything you need to live the life you were meant to live. He didn't leave you empty. He gave you gifts, talents, passions, and a heart full of potential. When you believe in yourself, you're not boasting. You're agreeing with your Creator. You're saying, yes, Lord, I believe I am who you say I am. And that agreement is powerful. That belief unlocks doors. It awakens dreams. It breaks chains of fear and insecurity. So believe boldly. Stand tall in your worth. Partner with God and pursue the life He's calling you to. Don't let doubt or fear hold you back. Walk in faith, speak with authority, and live with the unwavering conviction that you were created on purpose, for a purpose. God believes in you, and now it's your time to believe in yourself. Believe with all your heart that you were made for greatness. Walk boldly with faith as your companion, and watch as the impossible begins to bow before your unwavering belief.